In today's tutorial, let's do the pinpoint crochet blanket, another free pattern by yarnspirations.com. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the pinpoint crochet blanket just like you see here. These are granny squares that are attached together with a hint of color right in the interior with the circle center, and then it squares out near the outside. So this is a great little pattern to work with. It's a 2-page pattern just like you see here, and on page number 2 there is also a diagram to follow and also the color format in order to follow it if you'd like to make it like the original, just like this. So what we're going to be doing in today's tutorial is I'll show you how to make the square. I'll show you how to join the squares together with a nice seamless join, and then I'll show you how to do the outside with the reverse single crochet so that you can finish your entire project. So ahead of time I've done my homework and I have 3 complete, and today I'm going to show you how to make another one right here, and then I'm going to show you how to sew it within here so that you have a nice seamless join. You will see that here that there's no raised edges. I know from this angle you probably can't see that, but you'll see that there's no raised edges when you do it with an invisible seam join just like this, and I'll show you how to do that today as well. Once you have this all complete, then your entire Afghan then circles with the reverse single crochet all the way around. The nice thing about this is that you can change the size of this Afghan depending on how many squares you add, because the outside is just following what's already there. So even for a baby size you could do 6 squares by 6 squares, have a nice baby size about 36 inches, and then this pattern particularly is 52 inches by about 59 inches in order to make it as you see in the pattern. So what you're gonna need today is get your Caron 1-pound yarn today, and that's what I'm using, and this is quite a fabulous yarn. You'll get a lot of length out of these balls of yarn because they're so big, and you're also gonna need a 5mm size H crochet hook in order to play. So let's quickly review this diagram. So this is what I'm going to be using off camera in order for myself to follow along. So the very interior, number 1, is the splash of color that you see, and the rest of the rows that you see, or the rounds, are the same color. So that's the other color that I used. So if I were you and you were me, what I would do is look at the color scheme just like you see, and do all of round number 1 of all of the different ones that you need. Put those aside in maybe like a shoebox or somewhere that you got safe, and then what I would do is then finish the square. So it's just easier to do all of these little minis in advance and then just be able to finish it off with the rest of the color just like you see here. Now again, the color selection is up to you. You can change anything that you wish. This is just obviously like a recipe. You can change whatever that you feel that you would like to do differently. So let's begin, and let's start on round number 1. So let's begin with the slip knot. Remember that it never counts as 1. So what I want you to do is insert the hook into the slip knot just like this, and I want you to chain 4. So this will count as one of the double crochets eventually. So you're gonna chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now what I want you to do is come to the very beginning chain right over here, and I want you to put 11 double crochets into that same one just like there. Okay, so just do double crochets into that same one, and this will cause it to have that nice circling effect that you see right in the center of the square. So the first chaining of 4 counts as one of the double crochets. So when you're going to count these posts, you should be able to count and say 1, 2, 3, and 4. So count that in there. Now just for your record, you would need a total of 12 double crochets going all the way around, which includes that chaining of 4 that you did in the very beginning. And if you don't have that at the end of this round, your next rounds will never work. So make sure that you are just double counting before moving on, and then doing the rest of your pinpoints. Again, I would do these pinpoints in advance just like you see here, and so that you have those all ready for you when you're ready to go to the next round. It's just something is like an assembly line. It's easier if you're just concentrating on one section. So let's just count. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's just a fluke. I never counted as they went. And when I'm done, I just want to insert into the top of the beginning chain 4 and just insert, put a slip stitch in there, so then that closes that off. So what I want to do is that's the end of that color. So that's just your splash right in the center. Just trim the yarn and just pull that yarn through the loop like so, and then just weave it in a few of the extra stitches that you see, and then the next round we'll get that trapped into position full time, and then you won't have to worry about that going forward. Okay, so make sure that center yarn is also in there nice and good, and make sure it's not gonna be any problems for you. You can trim that down and trim the other one. They're both out, and now it's good to go. So there's your splash of color, and that's what you need to do for round number 1. So let's begin round number 2. Grab your next color yarn. This is gonna be the solid color yarn that you see in the entire Afghan. It's the main color. So what you wanna do here is that you wanna grab your splash of color just like you see, and you want to go into any stitch. It doesn't matter, there's only 12 in there, so you can't go wrong. Go into any stitch and insert your hook. Do not tie any slip knots here. I want you to just loop it and pull it through your hook right here, and let that straggler string fall in around the ring, and you're gonna trap that into position as you go. This is a very easy round. You're gonna chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and coming into the same stitch where you just did that to put another double crochet. So what you're gonna do for the entire duration of this round, and it can keep this straggler right down on top so you can trap it, is that every stitch will get 2 double crochets. Nice and simple. No extra brain power used. So make sure that every stitch around. So you're gonna have 12 groups of 2 stitches into the entire round by the time you're done. So make sure you have that count before moving forward. So you got this, here's one group of 1, 2 and 3, and you'll have 12 of those going all the way around. Please do that. I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming all the way back around. I do have my 12 groups of 2. Okay, there will be 24 double crochets if you want to count it that way. And once you have that done, just slip stitch to the top of the beginning, chain 3. And that concludes that round of number 1. Let's move on, or round number 2, sorry. Let's move on to round number 3. Round number 3, we're going to start off in the edges. You will notice will be higher stitches. They'll be longer than the ones in the middle. So it's gonna have to make a square. So the ones on the corners have to be a longer stitch in order to compensate for that square. So to begin, we're gonna chain 4, which counts as a treble crochet. So chain 4, and into the same stitch I want you to treble. So just wrap the hook twice and into the exact same stitch and just follow it through. Okay, so to treble again is wrap the hook twice into the same stitch, pull through, so you have 4 loops on the hook, pull through 2, 2 and 2. So you will have a total, this chaining of 4 that you started with counts as the first treble, so you have a total of 3. Now you're gonna chain 1. So the nice thing about this particular pattern is that you're going to skip 2 stitches here, 1 and 2, go to the 3rd, and this will be the middle section of a flat section of a square. So this one will be 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. See? So this one here was a treble because it's a corner. This here is a flat because it's the middle section. Then you're gonna chain 1, and now you skip 2, 1 and 2, and do another corner. So the corners will always be 3 trebles into the same one. So let's do that. So 1, and make sure you wrap that hook twice in order to get those trebles. Just there, and there's 3 in there. And now on the corner you will always from this point forward chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. So whenever there's a corner, always chain 3. Coming into the exact same stitch where you just were, treble 3 more times. Okay, so that forms your 90-degree turn on the corners. Just like there. So now chain 1, skip 2, so 1 and 2, go to the 3rd, and 3 double crochets. So this is a middle section of your square. So 1, 2 and 3, chain 1, and now you're ready for another corner again. So skip 2, 1 and 2, the 3rd one over, you're gonna put 3 trebles in there. It's the same thing as you did before. Okay, and then once you get that done, what do you need to do to change turn a corner? Remember how many changes it is? It's 3. 1, 2 and 3, coming into the same one and treble again 3 more times. So there's your 90-degree turn. So okay, so now do you see how to do that? So continue then for the rest of this round. Okay, so chain 1, skip 2, 1 and 2, go to the 3rd, 3 double crochets, and then chain 1, do another corner, and so on. So I'll meet you at the end of this round. As you're coming around then, so you skip 2, go to the middle section, it's the 3rd one over, 3 double crochets. Okay, now when you did this, when you started with just only a partial half corner, just like you see right here. So you make sure chain 1, and you're gonna finish that corner going into the same stitch where you did the starting out of, and you want to treble 3 times. just like that. So that completes that first corner. So in this particular pattern, that's how these corners are done. So you do the first part right in the very beginning, and then the second part is at the very end. So then remember, chain 3 is how you finish your corners for doing the spacing. Okay, so we'll do that, and then join it to the top of the beginning chain 4, and that completes off that round, which is round number 3. So now it's gonna get easier from this point. It's gonna be like a regular granny square going forward. Now rounds 4 and 5, the final 2 rounds, are identical to each other. They're just the difference is that the squares will be bigger. So watch how it's done, and you're gonna chain 3, and in the corner now we're no longer worrying about trebles. It was only that one round that we worry about, and we're gonna put 2 double crochets into that same chain 3 space. So there's half a corner, and we're gonna move forward. So chain 1 and go to the next space here, just jump right over these and double crochet 3 times. And then how many are you gonna chain then to move forward? If you said 1, you're right. So chain 1, go to the next space, 3 double crochets. So the only difference between this round and the next round is that there's gonna be more spaces in between the corners. So that's the granny square growing equally on all sides. Chain 1, and now here's your corner. So the corners here are gonna be 3 double crochet followed by how many chains? Do you remember? It was 3. So 1, 2, 3 to turn the corner, and coming back in. So 3 double crochet in, chain 1, and then coming into the next space here is 3 double crochet. So please do that same thing going all the way around for round number 4, and I'll see at the end of this round get you started round 5, and then that's it for the sizes of granny squares that's required for this pattern. So I'm coming up near to the end. I'm just coming into the final corner, putting in my 3 double crochet, chain 3 to finish, remember, and then join it to the top of the first chain 3. That concludes off round number 4. So round number 5, we just start exactly where we are and chain up 3, counts as a double crochet, and then 2 more double crochet into that same space. So as I mentioned before is that the only difference between 4 and 5 is that there's more spaces in between the corners. So you see that there's 3 this time, last time there was only 2. So that's really not a big deal, right? So chain 1 and then jump to the first space and 3 double crochet as you move forward into this pattern. Okay, then chain 1, move to the next space, 3 double crochet. So it's like a typical granny at this point, really quite easy to do. Chain 1 and then the next corner or next space, sorry, and then the next one after this is the corner. So remember how many do you do in a corner? So chain 1 first before the corner, and then here's the corner. So 3 double crochet to begin, followed by how many chains? Do you remember? It's 3. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochet in. So just remember it's kind of like a 3, 3, 3. It's a triple 3. 3 double crochet, 3 chain, 3 double crochet. So just keep moving forward. So chain 1 and then move across and then do the outside and then do the next corner as is. I'll meet you at the end of this revolution because this is the final time that you'll go around this granny in this particular manner, and you'll have to fasten off after that. I'll see you at the end of this revolution. As you come up all the way to the end, you're just gonna do your final corner, and that's it for these granny squares. Now what I would recommend to you, let's just chain 3. So what I'd recommend to you is that you get a darning needle and just seal off the final strand, and instead of worrying about it at the very end of your project, it's one less tail to deal with. So I just slip stitch to the beginning of the top of chain 3. So this is what I would do if I were you, and again that's completely your choice, you are the artist, is that you would just pull it through and you can just weave it in, and some people like to leave all their strands to the end, but then some people it becomes a nightmare when you do so. So what I would do is that this is the good side that you've been looking at as you've been going around. The other side looks different, okay? So this is the bad side, this is the wrong side. So what I would do if I were you, you or me, I would put this in through a darning needle now, okay, so that you have all your squares done and they're all perfectly prepared for when you're ready to go assemble at the end. Turn it round, okay, and go from the back end and just go across. So only go, sorry, just go across on the back side. So don't let that needle hit the front side of the project. If you see it on the front side, you know you're too deep. So just coming across, 1, and when you do it, just don't manipulate anything so that it's gonna change the look of your project. So come back for 2. Again, it's not on this side, it's only on the back. So just keep it to the fibers on the back and go back the other way for 3. Therefore you can safely trim this out now and you will never see this strand ever again. Okay, so you got it right out of your way, and so now you got a perfect granny now ready to go into your project at the end. So let's talk about the assembly next, and let's go through that. So here's the diagram back once again. So we have our assembly diagram, and you can see the colors of the dots are the splashes that are inside the centers, just like you see here. What I'd recommend is getting all your squares done, so you'll have like a whole stack of cards or a stack of grannies just like this, and you'll lay them down on a table. That's what I would do. Have them laid down so that the good side or the right side is facing up towards you, so then it's easier to look at and being able to move things around. If you want to be more strategic in the sense of being more random, you can do so. That's completely up to you. So what I'd recommend is that you sew the squares as a massive string all the way across. So just sew a seam all the way going upward. It doesn't matter which direction you go in, but put these together. Then move to the next section and then put these together, and then keep doing that all the way across. So what's gonna happen is when you're done this, all of the seams in the vertical direction that you see will all be attached, and then what you want to do then is come back and then seam out completely across. This is a lot quicker to do than it is to join as you go for each one in order to worry about it. So if you go in a massive strand like that, it's just a lot easier. So I leave that to you to make that choice. So how do we want to attach it? Let's talk about the instructions for doing that. So here's my sample, and I've got a smaller sample. So let's just say that I did all of that you saw in the diagram. I would have put a seam line all the way up the project, okay, and I would have done that on this side and continued to go on, and then when I got all those verticals done, I would have came across and did all these. But because I'm doing a smaller sample, I just put these together right where you see. So you can't really see it from your angle, but there's no raised edges here. It's completely flat here because of the way that I did it. It's called an invisible seam in the sense that it's very strategic on where you're sewing. So what I want to do is that I want to put these together. It's a complete square, so it doesn't matter which way that I have. The only thing you got to watch for is that you don't accidentally turn it upside down, because it is visually different on the other side than it is on this side. So what I want to do is that I want to start off on an edge, and I want to concentrate, and I want to show you exactly where you should be going in this. Let me zoom in next. So here's the zoomed in look. So every stitch you noticed should have two strands just like you see. If you attach to both strands here, you end up with a big seam line that's gonna be standing out like a window pane when you're going to join these. So you want to watch for that. So what you want to pay attention to is look at the two strings and think about how they're gonna go together. For this one, you want to get the one that's on the back side. Okay, so the one that's furthest away, and on this one you want to go on the back side of here. So what you want to do is you want to attach the two strands here. Okay, just only the two, just like you see here. So when you're going to sew, you only want to use those all the way down. So if you use the two main strands, let me just show you that. So if you use this strand and this, okay, so it's like a complete stitch. When you go to do it, that will bunch up and make it look like it's standing off like a window pane. If you like that look, go for it. That's completely your creativity. But if you go into where I'm suggesting is that you'll end up with a nice flat line. So let's show you how to attach the yarn, and let's begin from that point. So grab a yarn strand that's going to be long enough to go all the way in the vertical or all the way in the horizontal. And what I want you to do is slip knot on the other side, but do not close it. Put the other side into your darning needle like this. So you'll notice that, remember, you had 3 chains in the corner on both sides. So again, remember what I just talked about. I only want to go into the middle one of the 3. So just in the middle. I don't want to go into 2 strands. I only want to go into the one that you see there. Okay, and on this side here I want to go into the middle one again, and only on the one that's on the back side. Okay, and I want to go straight across, and when I get close enough I want to insert that slip knot in around into the needle, and what that's gonna do, it's gonna lock it. Okay, so now you just got to lock. So every stitch matches each other because each one of the squares are the same. So now that you're in the middle one of the 3, you have one more chain to do, and it's gonna make sense once you see it. So you go into the back one of this one, and on this one, see, you go in the back one of that one too. See, just 2 strands. Now what I want you to do before you do this, lay this straggler down on top, and that will get stuck into position so that it's completely inside of the stitch, so you never see it. And you only have to do that whenever you're starting a new strand. So again, On this side here we're now into the one double crochet. So again into the back one of that one and right directly across. The stitches all match each other. Just a matter of getting it started, and again keeping that straggler down on top. And you keep moving like that all the way down. So they're just all matching each other like a puzzle. Once you get enough of the straggler into position, you can just safely cut it out and continue. So all the double crochets will match each other all the way across, and when you have chain spaces, so I'm gonna get rid of this now. It's pretty much in there. So whenever you have a chain space, you were going to then just go into the chain space in order to make it work. Okay, so just continuing along. So I'm still in double crochets at this moment. Okay, the next one, see it's a chain space, so going into that chain and going into this chain on this side, you can get it to match. Sorry about that. So that's all you have to do for joining. Okay, it's called an invisible seam, and what this is gonna do, and you'll see it happening right before your eyes, it's gonna lay it nice and flat as you go and attach it together. So what I want you to do is continue along. I'll show you how to turn a corner just in case you're deciding to do it my same way, and then I'll carry on from that point. So when you're coming near a corner, remember you have your chain 3 spaces. They're all chain 3s in a corner like this. You just want to continue to match just like you see. So because there's 3 chains, this chain over here and here will all match each other as you go all the way across. So I'm in the 3rd chain, so I go across and I match it over. So I'm matching over on a diagonal just like you see here. And if you feel more confident, you can actually go in the diagonal and the other way too, just to make sure that you get it. So you can go back to this one over here that I was working on and just go diagonally across, and that does a nice closed finish right in the middle section right here. So you can turn your work and then just continue to work down the seam, again just concentrating on the strands that you're supposed to be. So what I'm gonna do is I'll leave this for you, and then I'll see at the end of this this section here, I'll show you how to just finish it off, and then we're gonna just cover the border really quick because the border is just once around just to finalize everything off. So when you get all the way to the edge and you got nowhere to go, remember that there was 3 chains in each one here. You want to finish on the middle chain of the 3. So the second one in, and again just finishing it off just like this. So what I would do is just tie it. So just going in and tying it, and to hide this end, all I just want to do is glide the hook in, or sorry, glide the needle in, and just kind of coming up underneath, going 1. Now see how I just pulled that too tight, so just kind of pull it back out. Once you can't do that after the second time, so you got to do it the first time if you pull it too tight. So going in 2, again just be snug but not over pulling on it, and then going back in 3rd time, and then you can completely cut that right out and never have to worry about that falling out of your project. Okay, so you can cut that out, and now that's it. So that's would be how you attach your squares together if you were gonna do that. And now let's talk about the border next. So once your Afghan is complete, there obviously will be more squares in this. You have to go once around all with a reverse single crochet. It's also called a crab stitch. So in the corners what you're gonna have is 3 crab stitches, or 3 reversed single crochets, and then each one of these double crochets will have 1, and then each space will also have 1 just like you see here. So let's attach and let's begin to work on this. So let's just attach it with a slip knot, and we'll just do a fasten on. So go right into a corner like this and pull it around, and then just grab that same yarn and pull through. Okay, so therefore everything is attached. So let's begin to do the crab stitch next. So reverse single crochet is exactly what was promised. Usually we always move forward. We usually go in this direction. This time we're gonna go in the reverse. That's why it's called the reverse double crochet, or reverse single crochet. So what we're gonna do is that we've already, just the way that we have attached it, we've already done chain 1, and what we're gonna do is that we are going to then come to the first stitch right in behind. Okay, so just going in to the first stitch. So usually I move forward, I'm moving backward into the first stitch, and I go into that stitch just like this, and then I yarn over, pull through. Okay, and then I have 2 loops on my hook, and I yarn over and pull through those 2. So then I move forward and then I move backward in the sense of reverse. So I go to the middle one of the 3 going into that next stitch, pull through. Okay, there will be 2 loops onto the hook, pull through those 2. So they're going into the next one, pull through. There's also other tutorials available for reverse single crochet if this is not connecting with you. So you can either go right into the chain or you can go right into the space, which I would probably do, and just reverse single crochet. So once you get it started and you get used to the motion, you can just quickly speed up and just going in a reverse all the way around. Just make sure that if you decided to go in a space or a chain, you're just consistent so the whole thing looks consistent as you go around. So what I want you to do is reverse single crochet all the way around in the corner spaces of the chain 3s. I want you to put 3 of those in, and then all the rest of it is just 1 reverse single crochet in each. I'll see you at the end of this round. So as you come all the way back around, I'm just reverse single crocheting. I've been all the way around this particular project and I'm coming in, and remember when we attached right in the corner, but we never did any reverse single crochets there. We immediately started right here where my thumb is moving. So what I want to do is grab this straggler here, and now the remaining of this chain 3 is that I'm just going to put in 3 reverse single crochets to finish off this round. So that's it. So what I want to do is that I want to just trim this yarn, and I want to grab a darning needle. Now with reverse single crochet it's best to use a darning needle to finish that off. Now because I just covered the straggler, I can get rid of that out. The reverse single crochet is kind of a really tight stitch, and if you don't finish it off right, what happens is you end up with a gap. Do you see how it's not quite there right here? So what you want to do is you want to just kind of pull it over with the darning needle so that it matches, and what I want to do is come to the reverse side. So this is the good side I'm looking at, so I want to come in behind there and kind of bring it so it looks like it's all matching. Then just turn it over from the back side and just go in and out of the project 2 more times in order to finish off that final strand, and therefore you don't have to worry about that as well. So it's a nice way to be able to weave in your ends and also secure it at the same time. So this is how you do the pinpoint crochet Afghan, just like you see here, and all it just needs is now shaping. You can see that there's beautiful edging just like you see here. Let me zoom out and let's conclude today's tutorial. So this is what it looks like. You got the reverse single crochet around the edging just like you see here. You see it attached. You see the other side here. This is the wrong side. Okay, so it looks completely different. You can still see a little bit of the reverse single crochet on here, but it really does show more on the good side of the project. So this is how you do this pinpoint crochet blanket. Hopefully you enjoy. And on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as the crochetcrowd.com, have a super day. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.